welcome to another episode of Biafra. And may I also use this opportunity to say Happy New Year. 2019 was an amazing year. Yes, it did come with ups and downs, but we're here, we're healthy, we have a future, and that is something to be thankful for. Today, I want to share with you my yearly ritual. Since 2013, obviously, this is something I learned while I was a fellow with the African Leadership Center in Nairobi. One of the mentors advised us to write a letter to ourselves, and in the letter, we should write something like, Dear me, how are you? And then talk about what's happening in our lives at the time and our hopes and aspirations and what we would like to see happen in the future. Well, in the future is from the period we're writing the letter to the end of the year. And then conclude by writing something like, Don't worry, everything is going to be okay. And then we were to put this letter in an envelope and seal it and open it a year later. I started doing this in 2013, and when I opened the letter I wrote to myself in 2014, I was amazed at how things have changed or how things have changed. Some of the things I was really worried and concerned about appeared to have just melted away without any trace. And I can't really explain how these problems were solved because here we are in 2014 and I'm no longer worried about those things. Anyways, bringing it back to 2019. In January 2019, I wrote a letter to myself, which I aimed to open today, the 1st of January 2020. In that letter, because I was concerned about my Viva, when am I going to defend? I didn't have a date for my Viva, my PhD Viva at the time. Was I going to pass my defense? Was I going to get a job? Will I be happy in the job? Was I going to be healthy? I was worried about my family, my kids, my friends, so many other things, which obviously I noted down in the letter. But because at the time this was obviously my 5th year of doing this, I concluded by saying, Don't worry, everything is going to be okay, just keep the faith. And rightly so, because this morning I opened the letter and I was so amazed at how differently things have changed. Not only did I pass my Viva, I attended so many conferences, invited to speak at different either symposium or conferences, invited to guest lecture, things I didn't even take into account when I was writing the letter. I got a job as a consultant with an amazing company and working with people that I love, that are really great. Interacting and engaging with other international organizations, contributing to interesting policy papers, publishing, collaborating with different people, meeting really amazing people that are now called friends, and creating friendship that I know would last for a long time. And these were things I didn't take into account or I didn't note down in the letter. And so things have changed completely for the good, of course. And some of the things I was worried about when I was writing the letter in the 1st of January are no longer there. And I genuinely cannot tell you how those problems were solved or how they went away. All I know is that they are no longer a problem to me and they are no longer things that worry me. So why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing it with you because I feel that it is a good ritual to have for yourself or something you can have with your family or even with your friends. It's not too late. Today is the 1st of January 2020. You can take a sheet of paper or a piece of paper and write down a letter to yourself. Talk about where you see yourself now. Talk about your aspirations and the things you'd like to achieve by the end of 2020. Seal it up in the hope of opening it in January 2021 And I tell you, I mean, you would really be amazed at how things have changed, and how you feel, and how you become sort of, how you begin to realize that everything will be okay in time. All you need to do is just do your bit and leave the rest. If you've already, I know I shared this last year, sort of told you about my ritual January last year. So if you had already started, I would like you to leave a comment to tell us what you think about it. Have things changed from the time you wrote the letter to yourself in January 2019 to now that you opened it? And have you replied the letter you wrote to yourself? And what are your plans for 2020? Like always, thank you so much for listening, and I may God bless you if you believe in God. If you don't believe in God, I wish you every happiness, and lift as you rise. Thank you, and bye. See you in February.